in the face of every piece of mainstream advice that you've ever gotten. Welcome to 30 Things I've Learned in 30 plus years of marriage. I've been married for almost 32 years. July 30th is our anniversary. And this originally started as a Facebook post at our 25-year anniversary mark, and I've added to it since then. I wanted to bring it to you. I've had lots of requests to bring this back again and again and again and again from friends, from my audience, from people who I know in real life, from people that I know online, and so I'm bringing it here for you. So let's jump right in. Number one, be each other's best friend. That should be your person, right? You are going to go through so many things in your lifetime, so many things that are hard, that are challenging, that are trying. Let that be your best friend. Does this mean that you don't have besties outside of your best friend that you're married to? Of course not. I have besties outside of my husband. That being said, he is also my best friend, and we started as friends. Side note. Number two, SE, trying to keep this as safe as we can for the platform, right? Is way more important than it's been made out to be. It is crucial for a great relationship. Now, are there extenuating circumstances at times where somebody has something happen, or they have a disability, or a stroke or something that impedes that piece? Yes. That being said, when able, definitely make it a priority in your marriage. Communication is crucial. Learn to do it better earlier on. And it's definitely difficult if one of you is a good communicator and the other one is not, but that doesn't mean that you can't work on that skill set. You, as the one who can communicate well, can work on your patience level while the other person brings up their communication skill set. And of course, this hinges on the fact of someone being willing to do it. I'm often asked, but Sunshine, they won't do it. What do I do? And I have varying answers to that based on their relationship. I've advised clients in different ways based on what their answers to some very specific questions are. That being said, communication is crucial. Definitely learn how to do it better earlier on, and be open and willing to give the other person grace as they work on it, because just like any other skill set, at the beginning, it's going to be a little bit awkward. It's going to be a little bit trying. You're going to need a little bit of patience, and that's okay. Having some of the same tastes in music helps. Not going to lie. My husband and I have the same taste in music. Do we have all the same taste in music? No. I like a wider variety than he does. Is that okay? Of course it's okay. That being said, that is one of the ways that we connected early on. Is I requested a song, or he started playing a song, and I was really into it, and he was like, okay, this chick likes the same kind of music that I like. Speaking of which, he's about to walk in the door. And a caveat to that one, having most of the same taste in music helps even more. Don't worry, I know that that was part of number 4 and kind of a continuation, but I have a follow-up to another one that makes up for it, so don't fret. Number 6, having common hobbies helps. Example, we were just talking about music, right? So my husband and I both love to go to concerts. So we go to rock festivals, we go to individual concerts, we go to concerts whenever we can. It's something that we love to do together. Okay? Yours might be photography, it might be dining out, it might be movies, it might be visiting national parks, it might be local attractions, it might be comedy clubs, whatever it is for you, keep doing that thing that you both enjoy together. Moving on to number 7, have interests and hobbies outside of each other too. It gives you something to come back together and actually talk about. When my husband is jazzed up about something he just watched because he has rabbit-holed down a topic that he really loves and enjoys, he's lit up, and it's fun for him to come and talk to me about it. Same thing for me. When I'm lit up about something, when I have a bunch of joy around what I'm doing, I can't wait to go tell him about it. It gives you conversation. You don't have to force it because you are already excited about it, so you already want to share it. Because again, that's your person, right? That's your best friend. So remember that extra piece that I told you about? This is that extra piece. So when we talk about having interests outside of each other's shared hobbies, right? This gives you breathing room. This gives you time apart. Absence makes the heart grow fonder is not a saying for no reason. Cliches are cliches for a reason, right? So give yourselves time to enjoy the things that you enjoy together, and give yourself time to enjoy the things that you enjoy separately, so that you have breathing room. Because that breathing room gives you that mystery that you want. It gives you that fun outlet that you want, and it gives you something to talk about later with each other when you're really riled up about it or really jazzed up about it and want to come together and talk about it. Number 8, be a great listener, right? So I'm definitely the bigger talker between my husband and I. He has become more of a talker in recent years. It's really fun to like watch that evolution. But for the longest time, I was the main talker in our relationship. That doesn't mean that I'm not also a good listener. So whether you're the talker or they're the talker or you're both the talker, just make sure that at the same time you're a good listener as well. And this means active listening. This means paying attention. This means caring about what the other person has to say, even if it's not your thing. You're going to care about it because you care about that person. It doesn't mean that you're going to divest all your time into that new thing that they're swirling on, right? Or that they're deep diving into. It just means that you're actively listening and you actually care. Number 9, SE, remember we're trying to keep it good for the platform, is way more important than they make it out to be. And they being anyone who's telling you it's not. So even though I said something about it earlier, it bears repeating. I think the last time I shared this on Facebook, somebody was like, hey, say it a third time, because it really does bear repeating. So this isn't just me trying to like force feed it down anybody's throat. It actually does matter in longevity in marriage. Remember, you belong to yourself first, to each other second, and everyone else, and this includes kiddos, after that. And this is a lesson I had to learn the hard way. So I'm not sharing this from some like pious pedestal telling you this because it's just good to say. This is something I learned the hard way. I didn't put myself first for a long time. I let myself get lost, and I'm someone who actually knows who I am. So letting myself get lost was a really big deal. I let myself get lost. I put the kids first. I put everybody first. But you belong to you first. And that way you're able to give more, believe it or not, when you give to yourself first. Like way more. So don't skip that part, okay? Don't glaze over that. Take it to heart. Have friends outside of each other. So I talked about, yes, I have my best friend is my husband, but I also have besties. Have friends outside of each other. Have people that you can talk to. Have friends that you go and do things with. Go meet for coffee. Go catch a movie. Go grab dinner. Go do whatever, right? But don't smother each other is another way of saying this. Have friends outside of each other. Have people that you talk to. Have, and it makes for fun stories when you guys do come together and talk about like what you were up to with your friends. So again, this goes back to that communication piece, right? Give yourself opportunities, give yourself experiences, give yourself friendships, give yourself ways to have something to come back and communicate with each other about. Because if the only thing that you're communicating about are the hard times, or the only thing that you're communicating about are the emergencies or the really big urgent things, then that's going to become a problem. This gives you communication and conversation that is fun, that is neutral, that puts spark and spice and deliciousness into your relationship without putting pressure on the relationship to have that be the end all be all. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments, okay? Makeup SE is great and it's actually important. It'll help you come together after disagreements. And for the longest time, I was just like, no, I'm a Scorpio. I can hold a grudge like nobody's business. Don't get it twisted. That being said, I learned the hard way, again, not to do that, especially in marriage. So that makeup is on point. Don't skip it. Forgive each other quickly. The quicker, the better. Does this mean bypass your feelings? No. Does this mean that your emotions don't matter? No. What it means is don't dwell on the dumb shit that y'all did. Like, don't do it. Just come to a space where you're able to forgive them, to forgive yourself, to forgive whatever needs to be forgiven, quicker than you maybe think you can. Again, don't bypass anything, but just understand that forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. It's to help you heal, not to help them heal. It might help them heal, like they might feel better and it might help them heal, but this isn't about helping them heal, this is about helping you. So learn to forgive quicker. Okay, we're on number 14, and I haven't been saying all the numbers, but that's okay. Number 14 is, no matter what your intentions are, you're going to hurt each other from time to time. We're all human, right? To err is human. We're all going to hurt each other from time to time. Just know that, and that's part of what the last one was, is talking about forgiving quickly, or as quick as you can. You're going to hurt each other from time to time. It's inevitable. You won't mean to. Communicating consciously, communicating with intent helps to avoid a lot of that, but we all have our own traumas. We all have our own things that we've been through that maybe have us look at something a certain way, and so we make assumptions, we have biases, we do these things in communication without consciously even realizing it. So there will be times where you unintentionally hurt someone. So again, good, right? Communication, forgive quickly, and just know that this does not make you a flawed human, it just makes you human, okay? Number 15, you both get to grow and evolve. As a matter of fact, let me expand that. Not only do you both get to grow and evolve, it's imperative that you both grow and evolve. Because if one is growing and evolving and the other one's just staying stuck, and I've seen this work out, or not work out, I should say, in relationships time and time again. If one is growing and evolving and the other one just doesn't give a shit about growing and evolving themselves, there comes a point where you grow all the way apart. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but I just want you to know you both get to grow and evolve. Okay? That being said, this kind of rolls into the next one pretty nicely, and that is support each other's dreams. I don't care how crazy they are. I don't care how far-fetched they seem. Am I saying put each other in dire straits? No. What I am saying is if that person has a dream, support that dream. Help them get there. If you can't help them get there, let them know that you support them in helping themselves, or the outside help that they need to get, or whatever it is that they need to get there. Support each other's dreams. Does it mean that you'll both be going for your dreams at the same time? Not always. Sometimes one is working on a dream, the other one's supporting, and then it switches, and then it goes, and then it goes, and then it goes, okay? But support each other's dreams. This is imperative. Out of everybody in the world, right, that's telling you you can't do something, or that you shouldn't do something, or that they wouldn't do this thing, don't let that be with your spouse. Support their dreams. I have my dreams, my husband has his dreams, and we can both achieve those by supporting each other and getting there. And you can too. If one or the other of you doesn't have a dream, and this is kind of the next one, like, support that too. I get a lot of flack for this next one, but I'm going to put it in. And I almost didn't, because I get so much flack for it, and I might in the comment section, but at this point I'm willing to risk it, okay? Are you ready? It's okay to go to bed angry. I know that flies in the face of every piece of mainstream advice that you've ever gotten, but it's actually okay to go to bed angry, and here's why. Some people need time to process. They need time to process what happened. They need time to process what was said so that they can come back to it later. They need time to process their emotions. That doesn't make them bad. It doesn't make them flawed. It makes them human. It makes them having that time and space to process what happened, to process what was said, and then come back together and continue to discuss it. So you can go to bed angry, just not too many nights in a row, okay? It won't end everything, I promise. Here's another one I catch flack for. Might catch flack for it now. I might not. It just really depends on what your beliefs are and what age you are and who's watching this right now. But it's less important about whether or not you decide to have kids, and more important to remember why you got married in the first place. I'm gonna say that again, okay? It's less important, and I know you're not supposed to repeat yourself on YouTube, but this is that important, okay? It's less important as to whether or not you decide to have kids. Some people can't have kids. Some people are unsure if they want to have kids. But it's way more important to decide why y'all got married in the first place. Why did you want to be with this person for the rest of your life? For the rest of their life, right? Why did you want to do that? That's the bigger piece to remember. Number 20. Oh my gosh, we're 2/3 of the way there. Okay, number 20. As you grow and evolve, remember we talked about that a little bit ago. As you grow and evolve, you'll be choosing each other again and again. You'll be choosing to stay married again and again. You'll be choosing that person as the love of your life again and again, right? This is not a one and done thing, especially as you grow and evolve. Because there will be times when you grow and evolve that you'll see things might look a little off kilter, especially if you're doing that whole looking from the outside in thing. But remember you're in it, and remember why you're in it, and that you're choosing each other again. And it's so worth it. It's so worth it to choose each other again and again. I can't stress that enough. Have you noticed a thread of forgiveness in here? I just wanted to come back and reiterate this. The quicker that you're able to forgive each other, the happier you'll both be. I feel like this is something that gets judged a lot in the wrong ways. Like, you're weak if you forgive, or you're weak if you're deciding that what's important to you matters above everything and everybody else, right? You're judged as, what's that word? You're judged as judgmental if you forgive. And it's not that you're judgmental. It's not that you're weak. It's not anything like that. It's a strength to be able to forgive. It's grace to be able to forgive. It's beauty to be able to forgive. And the more you're able to do that, the happier you'll both be. Because again, you'll unintentionally hurt each other from time to time. It's life. It's marriage. It happens. It's perfectly fine to be competitive. Just remember that the marriage itself is not the competition. And this coming from a very competitive girl, like we don't play, or we haven't played in ages, Monopoly, because I'm so competitive. And he wants to play, and we probably will at some point, but highly competitive, highly competitive. But our marriage itself, that's not the competition. And I highly suggest that the marriage itself is not the competition. You're not trying to one-up each other. You're not trying to make each other look bad. You're not talking bad about each other to other people. I can't stand that. I cannot stand that. And I can't stand being in groups where that happens. I remove myself. The marriage itself is not the competition. Okay? And again, if you're in a situation like that, you don't have to stay in that conversation either. You can choose to leave. Pinky promise. 23. Woohoo! Okay. It's okay to agree to disagree. You are not going to You are not going to agree on everything. You're just not. You're not going to agree on everything. It is okay to agree to disagree. Period. It's perfectly okay to grow and learn and develop in areas that your lover is not, okay? It's actually encouraged. This does not mean that you are growing apart. It means that you are growing and evolving the skill set of you. It means you're growing and evolving the skill set of your life or your business, right? It means that you're growing and evolving the skill sets in your creativity. It means that you're growing and evolving the skill sets in your communication with each other. And they might be doing something else. That's not growing apart. That's growing the skill sets of you and your life and your marriage, okay? Not the same thing as growing apart. Growing apart, not so good. Growing and evolving in different areas, totally fine, totally encouraged. Find beauty in the ordinary, right? There's going to be stressful times. There's going to be death and loss and moves and finance things and all of the things, right, that are going to put stress on your marriage. If you romanticize the daily things, if you find beauty in the ordinary and in the everyday life things, then when those times hit, it'll be easier to see them than if the only time you're looking for the beauty and the depth is the big major things that are exciting and fun and new, right? So if you romanticize the ordinary, if you find beauty in the everyday, then when those challenging times hit, it'll be easier to see the depth. It'll be easier to see the beauty. It'll be easier to see the romance in each other and in yourself when you're hitting those hard times that we all hit in life. Okay? Give thanks to those who came before you, and give wisdom to those who come alongside and come along after you. No marriage happens in isolation. So give thanks to those who came before you, who paved the way, who did this thing before you did, right? Give of your wisdom freely to those who, and I'm not saying you have to give everything away from free, especially not from a business perspective. That's not what I'm saying. But be willing to give your wisdom to those who are coming alongside you, to those who are coming along after you. Things like this that I'm doing right now is me giving freely, right? Doesn't mean that I'm going to relationship coach everyone for free, but something like this where I'm giving you lessons that I've learned along the way, it's like meta form of it, but give of your wisdom, give of your love, give of your joy so that others can see it, because communities that have strong relationships and strong marriages and strong families thrive. The data proves it. They thrive. Dance like no one is watching, but do it together, okay? You're gonna love seeing the way each other's body moves, the way it bends, the way it dips, the way it flows, right? It's delicious. It's luscious AF. Highly encouraged. Definitely do it. Let me know below if you do, because just do it. Just trust me. Just do it. If you plan on it being a forever thing, and if you got married, then odds are you did, right? Let's hope. Love that person harder, deeper, fiercer, stronger, more deeply, more madly, more wildly than you ever thought possibly, personally, right? And much more so than that other person probably ever thought that they deserve. Because we all deserve it. We're all worthy of love, right? And depending upon what that person came from, depending upon what you came from, you may be the one leading the way in what that love looks like. Madder, deeper, fiercer, more wildly, more passionately, more giving, more loyal, more all the things. Do that. Good things come from it. And last, but definitely not least, I'm giving you the piece of advice that my Baba gave us when we came back from Korea in 1994. Well, 93, 94 is when we went to see her. And she met my husband for the first time. And she said, "You're married now, love each to the other." And yes, she said it just like that. She did not, and I didn't find this out until after she passed, she did not have a good marriage. She actually had an abusive marriage. So I loved that piece of advice when she told me, and I treasured it all the more when I found out what had happened to her in her marriage, because it came from such a pure place from her, and it was given to such a just newly married, innocent young us trying to figure things out, and it stood the test of time, right? And God knows we have been through the most. That was number 30, by the way. I hope you know that. That was number 30. But that has stood the test of time. It has got us through the most trying times. The most. Through the death of my father, through the death of my husband's father, through miscarriages, through moves upon moves upon moves in the military, through special needs parenting, through losing things and people and all of the things, right? It got us through everything to get to here. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know below if any of these like really stood out to you and what your biggest one like that you're taking to heart is, if any. And if you haven't seen it yet, if you are wanting to create content, whether it be for YouTube or social media, a blog, your business, and you haven't watched the video linked above, then go ahead and give it a watch-see and let me know your thoughts. Love you. See you soon.